Hello everyone, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you're hearing my voice right now, you are definitely in the right place. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Three of Pentacles. You're someone very focused on quality. Yeah, you don't cut corners. You don't try to rush. I think that when you focus on something, when you commit to something, when you put your effort into something, you're going to do it right. Otherwise, why do it? You know? You have skill. You're putting in the steady effort. Yeah. And I think that you understand what it means to work in harmony with something or other people, or even working in harmony with yourself. This card is all about the alignment of different energies, you know, the contribution of different energies, the blood, sweat, and tears, the body, soul, and spirit that need to be aligned, the body, the heart, the mind, right? That need to be aligned properly for something to really work. If your mind's not in it, it's not going to work out. If your heart's not in it, it's not going to work out. If your body's not in it, it's just not going to work. You know, your heart and your mind can be all for it, but if your physical effort isn't there, or the physical capabilities, you're not going to actually be able to build the thing, to reach the goal, you see. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, and let's see what is going on in your life. There's the 10 of Wands. 7 of Swords. A Prince of Cups. The Magician. Yes, I kind of knew the Magician would come out here somewhere. You are the magic makers, after all. And there is the Strength card. There is the Sun. I feel like you're entering a pretty specific window of opportunity here to really manifest. Oh, there's Love. Yeah. There's the 4 of Wands and the 6 of Swords. Yes, because I was going to say, with that 7, it's like, okay, like I feel like your body's into it, your heart's in it, but your mind, oh, your mind's distracted, your mind is scattered. By the end of this, your mind is going to be in it as well. And then you have the 3 perfect components that are going to let this endeavor of yours, see, the 3 of Pentacles is like a drone, you know, those little fans at the bottom. And if each of those fans are functioning together, spinning at the same rate of speed, that drone, or your business, or your goal, or your endeavor, or your project, is going to go straight up. But if one of these things is out of whack, one of these things are not functioning, you know, in cooperation with the other 2, this drone, instead of going straight up, is going to flop over. We don't want it to flop over. So we're looking to see what's out of whack right now, so we can put it back in whack. Yeah? And that, to me, feels like it is your mind. It feels like your body, your heart is in it, but the mind is just wondering, like, maybe there's a better path, maybe there's a better way. What we need is our mind to be focused. Now, the Magician is focusing both the body, the heart, and the mind. The Magician is focusing the body, the soul, and the spirit to get something done, to complete the circuit, to accomplish the task, to go from a 3 to a 4. To reach the goal, reach the milestone, and get the win, and celebrate that win, okay? And so this is where we've got to get our mind right. Now, let's select our mystery card, and we'll get into this. I like these cards. Here's the mystery card. It's a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're just going to put it right here with our little Tibetan prayer wheel right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comment section right below the video. Now, as we look around the room, we see major, major, major. Okay? We see the focus, the clarity, the strength, the discipline. Yes, that's not the issue. Your energy is not the issue. Your discipline is not the issue. Your vision, your soul, your purpose is not the issue. It's just that the mind is looking for the best route, the best plan. Okay? Got to scooch in here because we're going to get down to business. So we've got our majors. We got fire and fire. You got water and water. You got air and air. And you've got the earth. Okay. And like I said, with that 3 of Pentacles, this is about the alignment of those components. The drives, the human drives, the creative drive, pleasure drive, and the sovereign drive, you know? The blood, sweat, and tears, the body, heart, and mind, the body, soul, and spirit, those kinds of things, you know? I think that this is really about, like, it's not about the big goal, like, why am I not already a billionaire? Why am I not already at the finish line? But it's kind of like, why doesn't this path seem to be working? Yeah. Not like, you know, it's a slow path and it's just that I've been just laboring away and, you know, I'm just, I'm struggling to get to the big goal at the end, struggling to get to the very top of the mountain. But this is kind of like, why won't it just get going? Why is it just, it doesn't seem like it's really kicking into gear and getting a rhythm, getting a routine, building momentum, right? Well, that's what we want with the 4 of Wands. The 3 of Pentacles is us looking at this and thinking, what's not working? You know, what is here that's not cooperating with the others? You know, if it was your body, then it would be easy. Okay, get some rest, refuel, you know, change your posture. And ask your body, is it capable of doing this work? You know, it's, you know, maybe we get to a certain age and we realize that, okay, my body's just not capable of climbing Mount Everest. I don't know. I guess any age you can, right? There are probably 80-year-old people up there climbing Mount Everest. But the idea is we have to look at ourselves and say, am I capable of doing this? Do I have that potential in me physically? Yeah? Okay. Emotionally, is your heart in it? Well, you got that 2 of Cups. You got the love, yeah. You got the Prince of Cups, that authenticity. Yeah, you feel like this is your path and you committed to it and your heart is in it. So that's not the issue. And then we think of the mind. Well, do I have a plan? Do I feel like I'm smart enough to figure this out, you know? Do I recognize some skills that I need to have? Am I wise enough to know where my ignorance lies? Okay. So this is you trying to shape the world according to your will. You're the magic maker. You're trying to cause change. Now, this is a 3 of Pentacles. It's saying, I know the potential's there, but it's just not changing. We're going to keep hammering away until we figure it out. Yeah. And so your effort is not the issue either, because of course we have that 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands to me feels like you're starting to get tired. You're starting to get overwhelmed because you've been putting in more and more and more and more and more and more and more effort, not getting the result. And so it kind of is suggesting that, like, there must be some other, it's not, you know, there's not a lack of effort. There's not a lack of energy. There's something else must be going on. It's like we're putting our foot down on the gas pedal. I can hear the engine revving up, but the car's not moving. The wheels aren't turning there. You know, I'm not moving forward in space, but I'm burning gas. I got the pedal to the metal, but the car's not going anywhere. Okay? There's something interfering with the transmission. And the magician is the transmitter. The magician is the one who is transmitting that divine energy, that creative will, that force and fire through you to the plane of earth. It's the magic maker, connecting the circuit from fire to earth. And right now, this is all that fire. I'm putting so much fire through it, and I'm starting to get burned out. But it just doesn't seem like it's getting to the wheels and the ground, and the wheels aren't turning. This is the wheel we're trying to get turning. And so there's something wrong with the transmission. And so the magician is the conductor of that electricity from fire to earth. And to get from fire to earth, right, this is fire and earth working together, right, because it's a 4, it's wands, fire and earth. That spiritual current has to go through a conductor of electricity. I don't know what the best conductor is. Is it mercury? Is it silver? Whatever it is. In other words, it has to go through the human heart and mind. Well, you got your heart. Your heart's conducting in the electricity just fine, but your mind is a little bit out of focus. And that's what's preventing that current from flowing through you. Okay, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing or why you're doing it. I think we just need to refine the plan a little bit. The 10 of Wands is you starting to feel a little burned out because you've been putting in a lot of effort, not getting a lot of results. And so this is, saying, okay, let's let off the gas. Let's take a step back and let's get out of the car, turn the engine off, get out of the car and look around. Look under the hood, look in the trunk, I don't know, peek underneath the car. And you might find out what the problem is. Okay? But what we don't want to do is give up. What we don't want to do is waste all of our gas. And obviously, it's not working. Obviously, something is not functioning the way we want it to. Okay? The wheels aren't turning. Sometimes the wheels turn, but we're still not moving. Well, that might be when we're stuck in the mud. Right now, we're not stuck in the mud, but that energy is not getting to the wheels. Well, I think it has to do with our 7 of Swords. Could be distraction. Could be that we are mentally distracted, and so we don't have that intense focus. Could be our thoughts are kind of scattered right now. It may be that you're having doubts. Maybe that you're trying too many strategies at once. You need to pick one. Yeah. Be honest about, what's working and what's not working. We're not trying to phone it in. We're not trying to do things halfway. We got to fully commit. Maybe you're kind of like, yeah, you're committed, yeah, but it's like there's other things over there that seem pretty good too, pretty easy, pretty interesting. We might be distracted by other paths. It could be that in your life right now, you're just feeling that your energy, your attention is being pulled in too many different directions that you're not able to focus on what you're actually trying to accomplish right now. Okay. Could be that we're experiencing too much criticism. Could be self-criticism, self-doubt. And it may be that there's a hidden fear. Okay, maybe that there's a kind of habit that we're caught up in that we need to shed some light on so we can see that. I think we need to fully commit to one course instead of trying to hedge our bets, maybe. There are too many plan Bs going on. And you're a very intelligent person. I think you can see several ways of getting up the mountain. Yeah, you're trying to get to the top of Everest, right? This is Mars and Capricorn. We're trying to climb that mountain, trying to get this thing accomplished, trying to get this thing going. And you're so smart that you can see a lot of ways to get up the mountain. Maybe that's kind of a little bit of a burden to be that smart, Because when you have so many potential good plans, you're kind of like, you're unsure which one to start with, which one to go with, which one is the best one. Sometimes it pays to kind of turn down the intelligence a little bit and just say, I'm just going to pick a plan, I'm just going to go with it. There's always a better plan. That's the problem. No matter what you think is going to work, and then you do it. But then as soon as you start questioning it, you start to think of a better plan. Okay, well, I'm going to switch over to this plan now. Oh, but what if I did that and that? What if I switch that around? Then we kind of realize there's a slightly better plan. So we keep tinkering with the plan, and we think, well, the plan's getting better. Yeah, maybe it is. There will always be a better plan. Someone out there has a better way of doing it. That's the nature of innovation and invention. There's always a better way to do everything. The problem is, if we're stuck in that process, we're never going to actually do anything. So maybe we just pick a plan, pick a path, climb the mountain, and then when we get to the top, we can say, okay, there's a better way of doing that. Then I'll make a new plan, and then I'll follow that plan. It might be, prototype kind of energy here. We have all the schematics, but we just keep improving upon the plan, and we're scattering our energy in too many different directions. Or the fact that we can see all the different pathways up the mountain, we're getting confused about which path we're actually on. We start going up this way, but then you're seeing all the details of the other path, and it's just like too many wires are getting crossed. There's too much noise here, not enough signal. The magician needs signal. The magician needs, concentration. And that seems to be the predicament. This seems to be the obstacle. Now, you've got a Prince of Cups here in the background. This is your authenticity. This is telling me that you've overcome a lot of obstacles in your life. That this path that you're on right now, okay, this work that you're trying to accomplish, this was something that just you being here is a major accomplishment. Because see, the Prince of Cups is a bubble in an ocean. This is somebody that has believed in something even when everybody else was against you. Even when you're in very hostile waters. You've maintained your identity. You didn't lose your commitment. Your heart was always there. You always believed in yourself, and you're trying to be true to yourself. And this was a major accomplishment that you're even here now. So sometimes I feel like you kind of just need to step back and say, hey, me just being here trying is a big step. Give yourself credit for having overcome everything that you needed to overcome, that hostility, the emotional pressure. Okay? Everything, because you think of a bubble in an ocean, it's got a lot of pressure around it, trying to get it to change its course or change its mind or conform or you know what I mean? So just the fact that you're here as the magic maker, the inventor, the worker, the designer, the architect, trying to figure out how to get this thing to work, I think you've already overcome a lot. It's important that you give yourself credit for that. I think this is also a card that's saying, yeah, you have you have a lot of integrity, emotional integrity. Your heart is in the right place. You're kind of like, you're on an emotional quest. And this is, you believe in this thing. It feels soulful. It's not just, yeah, it's a good idea. This is something that your soul really, really wants you to do. Yeah, you're channeling this intensity into the work that you're doing. So your heart is very much in this, very, very much. And the magician up here, this is the magic maker. This is the architect, the designer, the director, the conductor. Okay, and this is about you using your skills, your talents, your techniques, your voice in order to cause change and conformity with your will. And it could be that there is a question about your knowledge. Is there a gap in my knowledge about this thing? It could be. That could be what's reflected in the Seven of Swords. I don't know that there's a gap in your knowledge. I almost wonder if there's too much knowledge, that we need to parse through it and figure out the essential knowledge, right? We got to pick our intention, We got to be very clear about what we're doing. We got to point our energy at it, and we've got to go. No more tinkering, no more studying, no more learning, no more investigation, no more questions, no more distractions. We need to trust that we have what it takes to get started. You have the tools you need. Your knowledge, your technology, your technique, your talent, your voice. Okay? We have what it takes right now. And of course, as we move on, we'll learn other things and we'll pick up stuff along the way. That's not a problem. We got to take the action that says, I believe in this, I'm doing this. Thought, word, and deed are aligned. Your body, heart, and mind, right, are aligned. And so I really think that it's just the mind that needs to kind of ease down, Ripley. The mind is getting a little bit too active. I'm always thinking, I got a good idea. Let me just figure this part out over here. Meanwhile, the rest of you, your heart and your body are like, let's just go already. What are we waiting for? And it might be a little bit of insecurity. It might be we're always tinkering with something because we're kind of nervous about getting started. Kind of nervous about going forward and really being the magic maker. Maybe some procrastination. But it's taking the form of us over-intellectualizing something. Okay? Agency. Consciously use what you already have, even if you don't know everything. You never will. It's the problem with the swords cards. I just got to wait till I get the right info. There's always more facts to be learned. There's always a better technique. There's always a better path. There's always a better way. Doesn't matter. Use the way that you know now. And as you go, as you iterate, you'll refine your knowledge. It doesn't do you any good to try to learn everything beforehand, because you're going to learn the important stuff. You're going to learn by doing. Okay? And now we've got this Strength card. This is your courage, honestly. It's your courage to go forth even with what you might be kind of worried about is limited knowledge. I don't know everything yet. I haven't read every single book on the subject. I've only read 1,000 books on the subject, but there are 10,000 books on the subject that I haven't read yet. I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. This is that passion. This is that desire and that life force. This is you feeling confident enough to say, I'm going to do it anyway. This is really this is the courage to say, and it's quiet courage. It doesn't have to be loud and boisterous and arrogant. It's just that quiet courage that's saying, I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to go forward with this. I'm going to do this. We're choosing to be brave here. And of course, the strength card is about the physical body. I feel like your physical body is definitely capable of doing this, whatever it might be. Maybe you're learning piano. Maybe you're trying to build a machine or a computer, or build a life, or build a family, or be successful, or achieve financial wealth or something, right? Your body's perfectly capable of doing the work. Your heart is in the work. You have a good reason why you're doing it. We're just kind of figure out, how do I do it? Well, you just got to start. We just got to get going. And we have to allow ourselves to take up space. Yeah. As your strength is your desire brought into consciousness and directed. Lead with your fire. Your passion is not the problem here. Okay? It's a self-doubt, self-criticism, self-consciousness that's leading to us overthinking it. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free, and it's really a great way to support the channel. And every time you hit the like button, every time you subscribe, it helps to bump the channel up in the rankings for the algorithm. Okay, so it really does. It's the best way to support the channel, and I really do appreciate that. Your general energy is the Sun card. You realize that you're a star. This is joy. This is your truth. This is you knowing that you're going to succeed. This is clarity. Lean into this, okay? Let yourself be seen. Don't hide yourself away in your laboratory thing, and I haven't read all the books yet. Go out there and live the path, because that's where you're going to get the most knowledge and wisdom anyway, okay? Celebrate your progress, even if it feels small. You're being honest. You're saying yes. You're letting yourself shine. This is beauty. Joy is an unguarded self where you're standing in your own light and you're shining openly. You're not dimming your shine. There's confidence, but it's not arrogance. It's a calm, gentle presence. Okay? And you're out there and you're doing it. Maybe the Seven of Swords, we're worried about doing it wrong. We're worried about not succeeding. Who cares? Do it anyway. Maybe we're going to fail a little bit. Maybe we're going to make a prototype and it's going to break down. That's okay. We'll iterate. We'll learn, we'll refine, we'll do it again. We'll learn, we'll refine, we'll observe, we'll do it again. And the sun is going to continue to shine. Okay? The Two of Cups is, of course, saying that you have a definite desire here. There is something that you really want to achieve. And the Two of Cups is love. There is an affection. There is chemistry here, There's a bond. And, it may be, this is in the position of your relationships. So I feel like that there is a very supportive person in your life. There's someone that is encouraging you. Someone in your life is trying to uplift you and tell you to keep going, Other than me, I think. But maybe this is me. I don't know. There's somebody that wants you to succeed. And it could be a romantic connection, a platonic connection, or a spiritual connection. This is your love for yourself. This is your love for the work. This is your love for the result. Yeah, this is your desire. And I think that this is a lot of support because this is mutual affection and encouragement and uplifting. Okay. So allow yourself to lean into this a little bit too, because I do think there is someone in your life that is very supportive of your progress, wants you to win, wants you to succeed. Okay, and this may be, some emotional support. And the Four of Wands is the completion. Four of Wands is not the big goal. This isn't the end of the road. This is the celebration of the first attempt, the first iteration, the first go-round, right? The first milestone. This is a phase that's reaching a solid point where something now, it's like, okay, the wheels are moving now. Something is, the transmission has kind of gotten into gear and the wheels are turning. Yeah. And so this is joy. This is beautiful. Okay. This is you kind of exhaling for a minute because now the wheels turning, the thing is in motion. It's a milestone. It's not the end goal, but it's letting you realize that, okay, this worked. And so you test it, and then you turn the machine off, and you say, okay, we breathe, we celebrate, hey, it worked. Okay, now let's keep building it. Let's refine it. Let's build it up, whatever it is. And then we're going to keep doing it. This is a cycle. It's a circuit that is being completed. Also, it's fire and earth, right? Because the four elements, 4 directions, 4 corners, the four walls, and represents the earth. And of course, we have the fire. So this is a successful manifestation. It's not the end of it. It's not the end of the road. But this is when we say, okay, my manifestations are working. My magic is working. I'm noticing a change in the physical environment that I intended. I'm seeing the car went forward a little. Like you're trying to fix the engine of a car. Why does my car not go? You know, I'm revving the gas, but it doesn't go anywhere. We get out, we figure it out, we get a plan, we sort of we start fixing it. And this is that feeling when you put the car in gear and it actually it rolls forward a couple of inches, a couple of feet or something, right? And then you slam on the gas, you put it back in park, and you say, oh my gosh, it worked, you know? And now we gotta put the rest of the car back together, load it up with our stuff, get get the kids in the back and get the seatbelts on, and then we can go. But this is that feeling that what we've been stressing over and working toward is actually starting to flow. Okay? And the Six of Swords is, well, it's the mind that is living now in harmony. It's kind of like now the mind can trust itself. The mind is more confident now. Mentally, there's a harmony. There's a plan. There's a schematic of sorts. And so it's Mercury in Aquarius. This, of course, is Mercury. And I feel like for these collective readings, we get a lot of magician cards, don't we? I feel like every collective reading I do, magician card. Because I think that these collective readings are for the magic makers, you know, and it's not for everybody. But I think that right now you've got this kind of once-in-a-lifetime window to really make this happen. And this is now you understanding how your magic needs to work. Because we all have different ways of doing magic, you know. You've found the recipe that works for you. You understand your pattern. You understand what you need and how you put things together in a way that's functional. This is the blueprint. This is the budget. This is the schedule. This is an organized mind. This is spreadsheets and schedules and budgets and, a log and all this kind of paperwork, journals. This is kind of scattered. This is like I'm kind of disorganized a little bit. This is everything is organized perfectly, properly, in a way that works for you. This is very, very nice. And this is now kind of like saying we can get on the road. Now that the wheels are turning, we can move this forward. We can keep innovating. We can keep growing. We can test it and we can refine it. This is the card of science. It's the art and science of manifestation, but it's also science as in it's testing, observing, learning, and then kind of like retesting. So you're iterating, okay? You're going through different versions of this work that you're doing. You're going to repeat the process so that it can grow and it can get better and it can get more refined. Okay, now let's look at this mystery card. Maybe the Empress, maybe I kind of feel like a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles is what we need. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's see. The Hermit. Okay. The Hermit's good because it's kind of saying that you're not listening to the distractions. That you've got your cloak of invisibility on and you're not worried about anybody else's opinions. You're not worried about what anybody else is going to think or say. You're not even really self-conscious. You don't care about being embarrassed. You don't care if I try and fail. The Hermit is just following that path. The Hermit is saying, I'm doing this and I don't care what anybody says. It's like we're protected against the criticism. And not only that, you're trusting your inner light. You're trusting your inner lamp, the sun, right? Your internal kind of spirit. And you're following your path because you're a bubble in an ocean. You're not doing what everybody else has done. That would be easy. You're doing something difficult. You've gone off trail. You're cutting your own way through the jungle. You're in the dark, scary forest where you got to figure out your own way. You're doing something that nobody else has done. So who cares if they criticize you? Who cares if they gaze upon you in wonder because they can't figure out what the heck are they doing? They've never been there before. They've never done what you're doing. So they have no right to speak on it. You shouldn't be bothered by how you how you think they might be perceiving you. And I think that it's for that self-criticism too. I think when you realize that you're doing something you've never done before, you're not expected, and you shouldn't expect yourself, to already have the answers, to already have the way figured out, or the map already made. How can there be a map when no one's traveled this way before? You're making the map as you go. And so that should give you a little bit of peace or a little bit of relief. You're not, to not put so much pressure on yourself. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading as well. Please click on the link in the corner. There's also a link right down there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know where in the world you're going. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.